There is a difference between writing a complex screenplay and writing a complicated screenplay. One of them will not go well for you, and if you don't know the difference, you may already be in trouble. So I'm going to simplify this for you. As much as you think movies and stories in general are all about the craziness, they're not. Stories at their core are simple things. Good movies are simple stories, which means they are not complicated, but they may still be complex. And if you're new to the channel, first of all, welcome. What I'm about to say may seem very foreign to you, and if you've been around a while, let me remind you, a story is about someone who wants something badly, is having trouble getting it, and they get it or they don't. That's it. That's a story. Simple, I know, but that's the gist. Now, I go much further down the rabbit hole of what a story is and all things story structure in this. If you're interested, a link is below. But I hear from so many writers about how this definition of a story, the someone wants something badly, having trouble getting it, they get it or they don't, that it doesn't really apply to their story because their story is, more complicated. No, it can't be complicated because stories are not meant to be complicated. Stories are meant to be simple. Remember cave paintings, our first written records of stories? Yeah, simple stories. If you're hungry and want food, go hunt here. Eat deer. Simple. There's nothing complicated about it. Go get a spear, a bow and an arrow would be better. Look for things that look like this, kill it, cook it, eat it. It's not complicated. Now, it might be complex because you might have to travel further than you're used to. And maybe it's not just a deer that you're hunting, but maybe it's a bull elk. And they are big and they have really good hearing and a really good sense of smell, and they're really fast. And after you manage to sneak up on them and get close enough to shoot them, they may run a while and you'll have to track them and maybe scare off the wolves or the bear that's trying to claim it as their own kill in the process. And then you have to get the thing home, and it weighs a lot. And then there's this massive rainstorm, and with those same wolves now hunting you and now your friend, because your friend who is hunting with you, they twist their ankle while running from the wolves and they sacrifice themselves so you can get away and hopefully make it to the pass before the rain turns to sleet and snow. And if you make it just in time, you get the bull elk home. At its core, it's simple, but it's also complex. There's a lot of twists and turns, but it's not complicated. A hunter wants to kill a bull elk and return to his family so they can have enough food for the winter. Simple. But here's the complicated version that a lot of screenwriters, especially new ones, try to write. A hunter, looking for love and trying to impress a girl, practices the village ceremonial love dance while also trying to find a bull elk and trying to live up to the expectations of the chief, who, of course, happens to be the girl's father. And his parents are trying to arrange a marriage to a different girl in the village, while the hunter, their son, is off trying to kill a bull elk to prove he's a worthy son-in-law to be to the chief. And there's a young warrior in the village also trying to sabotage the hunter because he really wants to get with the girl, so he's out in the woods too, hoping he can get the bull elk for himself and be first in line for the chief's daughter. But the hunter's best friend, who is actually the chief's son and the girl's brother, is going on the hunt with him, but then the hunter has to figure out not only how to kill a bull elk, but also how to get his friend home after his friend twists his ankle, all while avoiding the wolves and the rival warrior and learning to dance and being taught proper dating etiquette by the chief's son / BFF. And when he returns with the only half of the bull elk because he had to leave some behind to bait the wolves into a trap with the bear that was also chasing him, he managed. What the heck kind of movie is this? It's all over the place. It's complicated, and complicated is bad. Stories are simple. They can be complex, but they are simple in that they have a singular focus. They are laser focused on their target. Someone who wants something badly is having trouble getting it, and they get it or they don't. The want something badly part, that's a singular, simple thing. It is measurable, it is visual. A hunter wants to kill a bull elk and get it home to feed his family for the winter. That is super simple. And the last piece, they either get it or not, is also simple. The hunter either shows up in the village with a bull elk or he doesn't. The audience isn't gonna be all, wait, did he get it or not? No, we're gonna know. He got a bull elk or he dies trying. That's it. But the having trouble getting it part, now make it complex. Lots of twists, lots of turns. The hunter is either getting closer to home or it's looking more and more like he won't make it. This is the part where you can make your story complex. Why? Because it's all about conflict, and conflict is great in a story. So yeah, pile it on, but the simple laser focus never changes. The hunter is still trying to kill the bull elk and get the thing home to feed his family. It's simple. The audience knows what to root for. And that's one critical difference between complex and complicated stories. In a complex story, while there might be a lot going on, the audience still knows what to root for. We are rooting for the hunter to get home with the bull elk. But in a complicated story, we have no idea what to root for. To kill the elk, to learn to dance, to learn the preferences of the chief, to avoid the warrior vying for the chief's daughter, for the parents to arrange the marriage, for him to get his BFF home. I mean, I don't know what to root for. And if I don't know what to root for, then I don't know what to care about. And if I don't know what to care about, I'm out. It's a bad movie. Because movies are about making the audience care about what happens to the someone who wants something badly, is having trouble getting it, and we feel something if they don't get it, and we will feel something if they do. So if you're writing a complicated story, stop. Figure out your laser focus. What is your story about? Fill in the blanks. So here's another tip to help you know whether your story is too complicated. If they can't fill in the blanks when other people read it. So when they read it, do they know whose story it is? Do they know what measurable thing that the main character is after? And do they know whether they get it or not? Because if not, if they don't know, you have a complicated story. If you even have a story at all. Because if you don't have those three things in your script, you don't have a story. Now, you might have them, but that's the second part. If you're telling the story in such a way that any reader can't tell you the answers to those three questions, you are now telling your story in too complicated a manner. So a complicated story is bad, but so is telling your story in a complicated way. Oh, well, I just, kind of want to keep the audience guessing. Well, that's fine, but make the story complex, not complicated. You need a laser focus, because if you can't tell a story with one protagonist, but you are convinced that you can tell a story with multiple protagonists, you are putting the cart so far in front of the horse that the cart is in a different time zone. Simplify your telling of the story and simplify your story. Boil your story down to those core elements. Can you? And if not, I'm sorry, Skippy, you're in trouble. But I don't want you to be in trouble. I really don't. I want the measurable thing that I want is for you to find success. However you define what success looks like for you. That might mean just finishing one screenplay that has a beginning, a middle, and an end. That might be it. That might mean finishing the 5th or 6th script that you have. It might mean winning a contest with a screenplay that you've written, or even getting paid, whether it's an option or a sale or anything in between. That's what I want for you, is what you want, what your measure of success is. But I'm having trouble getting it because all I can do is through this video, through this one-way communication, is try to point you in the right direction. And I'd really love to work with you and help you write your next screenplay, or 10, however many it takes, for you to get to where you want to go. If you want my help, I've got a coaching program, the Screenplay Navigator. The link is below if you want to book a call with me to see if it'd be a good fit for you. Otherwise, watch this. If you found value, please let me know what was helpful. Fun buttons and links below. And when you tell a story, don't overcomplicate it. Just tell a simple story that matters. See you later.